Hello everyone. Today we will going to discuss the third chapter of our history subject. Okay, the chapter name says challenges, internal challenges in our country. If you remember, we had discussed that in the whole syllabus we will read the development or the changes that happened in our country after the independence. So our discussion or the learning is based on those 40 to 50 years after the independence. So basically in this chapter also we will see the important changes that happened during that period from 1950 to 2000. Okay, if you remember, in second chapter we had seen the highlights. Second chapter was about the important events that happened in the different decade. We had seen the story of 4 decades from 1960 to 2000. So if you remember those events, in this chapter or in coming chapter we will discuss those events in detail. तो आप ये समझो कि हमारा जो सेकेंड चैप्टर था वो एक ट्रेलर की तरह था और आगे जो उसके डिटेल्स हैं वो हम आगे अलग अलग चैप्टर्स में पढ़ेंगे. किसी चैप्टर में हम लोग इकोनॉमिक्स के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. इन सम चैप्टर वी विल टॉक अबाउट द एजुकेशन. इन एनी चैप्टर वी विल टॉक अबाउट द वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट, इन द स्पोर्ट्स or the development or the political scenario. So in this chapter basically we will talk about the internal challenges where we will see the changes that happens in the northeast India. You know northeast India, if you see the India's map, तो नॉर्थ ईस्ट साइड में जो कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेट्स हैं जैसे कि असम, मेघालय, अरुणाचल प्रदेश. सो दीज आर दी फ्यू इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेट्स ऑफ द नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया. तो यहाँ पे ये स्टेट्स का रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन कैसे हुआ, क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम फेस करने पड़े वहाँ के लोगों को. Also, we will talk about the naxalism, communalism, regionalism. These are the problems of our nation. Still, we are facing such issues in our country, right? We know what is the meaning of naxalism. Naxalism is a kind of terrorism. But difference is that in terrorism, the people come from outside and they create terror in our own country or in our own region. But in naxalism, the people are local. Or basically we say they all are our own people. Due to some misunderstandings, due to dissatisfaction against the government, such kind of things happen. And if you talk about the communalism are the communal issues. We know in our country many communities live together and different communities have their own aspects. So if some kind of misunderstanding or problem arises, we had seen there are so many communal issues in our country. So communalism is also very dangerous thing in our nation which stops our development. And again we talk about the regionalism. Regionalism also plays a very important role for creating disturbance among the people. How it happens? When we say regionalism, what does the regionalism means? Excess proud or excess attachment to our region. It is not wrong. सबको अपने रीजन रिलीजन पे प्राउड होता है, सब लोगों को उसका एक अपनी शान लगती है. बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम दूसरे रीजन के लोगों को या दूसरे रिलीजन के लोगों को हम इक्वल ना समझें. Many times we had seen, if you belong to any particular city or particular state, then people who are outsiders, we don't behave them with properly, right? This kind of things create the issues of regionalism. So step by step we will discuss about these issues. Okay, so what we are going to learn in this chapter? In this chapter we are going to learn about some internal challenges that India faces. We shall see some internal challenges like separatist movement. In our country still we have some kind of separatist movement. What is separatist movement? When people are distracted for any kind of movement from where the people are in a thought of a separation. Many movement happened in the past also. The biggest separatist movement you can see is our India's partition, right? Britishers created divide and rule amongst us, right? And this policy would turn into the difference between the Hindu and Muslims, and that resulted in the partition of our country. और सिर्फ ऐसा इंडिया और पाकिस्तान के साथ नहीं हुआ है, वर्ल्ड में ऐसे बहुत सारे कंट्री हैं या हमारे ऐसे बहुत सारे स्टेट्स हैं, रीजन हैं जहाँ पे सेपरेटिस्ट मूवमेंट हुए हैं. Issues of Northeast India. What are the issues faced by the North Indian states? We will discuss in this topic. naxalism, communalism, and regionalism. So the 5 important points which we need to discuss in this chapter is: first, separatist movement; second, challenges faced by the North Indian states; third, naxalism; fourth, communalism; and fifth, regionalism. Okay, so let's begin with the first, separatist movement. It is a story about the Punjab. There was a movement started in Punjab by Akali Dal. Akali Dal was a regional organization. Now later it turned into a political party. They had created a propaganda, a planning to get a separate state for the few communities, and they named it as a Khalistan. So what was that issue? What happens at that time? Okay, if you remember in second chapter we had read that Indira Gandhi's personal bodyguard killed her. Right? Why it happened? It was a long story. We will discuss in this topic, then you will come to know what exactly happened at that time. Okay? The unrest in Punjab. Why the situation get worse in Punjab? ऐसा क्या था कि पंजाब में इतना ज्यादा वायलेंस होने लगा, पंजाब के लोगों में इतना डिस्ट्रप्शंस आने लगे? Akali Dal was the major political party in Punjab. Still, Akali Dal is a political party. It's a regional party, very famous party in Punjab. In 1973, the Akali Dal passed the Anandpur Sahib resolution. Resolution means the kind of decision. Right? We know every political party have their own stand. हर एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी लोगों को अट्रैक्ट करने के लिए कुछ प्रोमिसेस करते हैं. उसमें से कुछ फेक प्रोमिसेस भी होते हैं, कुछ एग्रेसिव प्रोमिसेस भी होते हैं, और कभी कभी वो लोगों को कास्ट और रिलीजन के नाम पे भी डाइवर्ट करते हैं. ऐसा ही कुछ अकाली दल ने किया. अकाली दल ने लोगों को ये अश्योरिटी दिलाई कि इफ वी विल गेट इन पावर, इट मीन्स इफ वी विल गेट victory in election, then we will do such kind of betterment for the Sikh or the Punjab or the people of Punjab. Right? In 1974, the Akali Dal passed the Anandpur Sahib resolution. The following demands were made in this resolution. What are the demands? Like Chandigarh should be made part of Punjab. As we all know, Chandigarh is an union territory. Right? We know in our country we have few union territories and few states. The union territories are run by the central government. So Chandigarh is a union territory and is capital of both Punjab and Haryana. So all the income or all the benefits that revenue generates from the Chandigarh is divided between Punjab and Haryana. So what Akali Dal had promised to people, that if we will win the election, then Punjab will get the complete power of Chandigarh. That was the one resolution. Second, the Punjabi speaking parts in other states should be included in the states of Punjab. अब Punjabi speaking people means जो लोग पंजाबी लैंग्वेज यूज करते हैं वो पंजाब में तो हैं, बट कुछ आसपास की टेरिटरी में भी हैं. तो इनका कहना ऐसा था कि वी विल ऐड दैट पार्ट इन पंजाब ऑल्सो. इट मीन्स पंजाब जो है वो और एक्सटेंड हो जाएगा. The Punjabi speaking parts in other states should be included in the state of Punjab. Recruitment of people from Punjab in the Indian army should be increased. What is recruitment? Appointment. They assured that if we get a power, then people from Punjab will get more appointment for the Indian army. ये भी गलत चीज है. Indian army, when we say Indian army, it is a responsibility or the organization that belongs to the whole country, not for the Punjab. तो हम लोग यहाँ पे किसी स्टेट या रिलीजन के हिसाब से तो लोगों को अपॉइंटमेंट नहीं करते हैं ना. वहाँ पे लोगों की कैपेबिलिटी होती है, जो कैपेबल होते हैं, जो एग्जाम्स क्लियर करते हैं, ट्रेनिंग क्लियर करते हैं, उनको ही जाके जॉब मिलता है इंडियन आर्मी में. तो ये गलत डिमांड था. बट अगेन क्योंकि वो लोगों को अपनी तरफ अट्रैक्ट करना चाहते थे, इसलिए उन्होंने ऐसे फेक प्रॉमिसेस किए थे. And more autonomy should be given to the state of Punjab. What is autonomy? Self-control. Autonomy means self-control. और ऐसा था कि पंजाब को ज़्यादा पावर मिलेगा और पंजाब अपना डिसीजन, अपने कंट्रोल खुद देखेगा. तो ये सारी बातें लोगों को अट्रैक्ट कर गई और इसका बेनिफिट मिला अकाली दल को कि आने वाले इलेक्शन में अकाली दल इलेक्शन जीत जाते हैं. Akali Dal came to power in Punjab in 1977. While taking charge, they asked for a larger share of river waters for Punjab. Then after coming in power, they also demanded for few things, like they demanded for larger share of water for Punjab. Again, it's a wrong demand. अगर कोई रिवर किसी स्टेट से पास होकर जाता है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो रिवर पे सिर्फ वो स्टेट का ही शेयर हो, क्योंकि वो रिवर 2-3 स्टेट्स तक होके जाता है तो सबको इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ वाटर मिलना चाहिए, राइट. Holy city status for Amritsar. Okay, this can be done. They also demanded that, we know Amritsar is very much famous all over the world for the Golden Temple. Right? It is a very holy city. What holy means? A divine. Or in Hindi you can call it the Pavitra. तो इन्हों का ऐसा कहना था कि जो अमृतसर जो सिटी है पंजाब का, जहाँ पे गोल्डन टेम्पल है, उसको एक होली सिटी डिक्लेयर किया जाए. सो इट कैन बी एक्सेप्टेबल. यस, इट्स अ जेन्युइन डिमांड along with their old demands. So these are the few additional demands of the Akali Dal in addition to the older demands. In 1980, the movement for independent Khalistan. Now few organization plus Akali Dal and you can say a few religious organizations also joined and they demanded for the separate Khalistan. In 1980, the movement for independent Khalistan took root in Punjab. Took root means begin. It started. During that period, the leader of Akali Dal was Sant Harcharan Singh Longewal. At that time, during 1980, when this movement begins, who was the leader of Akali Dal? Sant Harcharan Singh Longewal. He used to direct his activities from the Golden Temple to stage protest. सो ही यूज टू डायरेक्ट एक्टिविटीज़. उनके जो भी एक्टिविटीज़ होते थे, लोगों को स्पीच देना, लोगों को मोटिवेट करना, डिस्ट्रैक्ट करना, तो वो गोल्डन टेम्पल से करते थे और आसपास स्टेज प्रोटेस्ट करके भी लोगों को इकट्ठा करते थे. ऑन द अदर साइड ऑफ गोल्डन टेम्पल, आर्म्ड फॉलोअर्स स्टार्टेड गैदरिंग अराउंड द स्टॉन्च खालिस्तान सपोर्टर संत जरनैल सिंह भिंद्रानवाले. सो व्हाट इज स्टॉन्च? स्टॉन्च मीन्स स्ट्रॉन्ग. स्टॉन्च मीन्स स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्टर्स. सो कुछ लोग लोगों को मोटिवेट कर रहे थे स्पीचेस से, रैलीज से, और कुछ लोग अलग से अपनी एक कम्युनिटी बना रहे थे जहाँ पे वो आर्म्ड स्ट्रगल की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे थे, आर्म्स और वेपन्स को इकट्ठा कर रहे थे. इसमें सबसे बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल किसका था? संत जरनैल सिंह भिंद्रानवाले. सो भिंद्रानवाले इज लाइक creating the terror in the region of Punjab by motivating the people. During that period, terrorist activities had begun. Bhindranwale was arrested in 1981 accused of the murder of newspaper editor Lala Jagat Narayan. And in 1981, Bhindranwale was arrested. He was accused. Accused means उनके ऊपर इल्ज़ाम था कि उन्होंने न्यूज़पेपर एडिटर लाला जगत नारायण का मर्डर किया हुआ है. Because this Bhindranwale belongs to a criminal background. After this incident, the situation worsened. When Bhindranwale was arrested, so people get aggressive. Those people who supported, who are the followers of Bhindranwale. So the situation got worsened. Worsened means worst. No, worst, worsened, right? Due to this development, President rule was imposed in Punjab in 1983. As we see, if the situation get not under the control of state government, then president rule happens there and military will take charge of that region or the territory or the state. So in this way, since the situation was not settled or stable in Punjab, then the control was given to the president, and in 1983 president rule was sanctioned on Punjab. Bhindranwale went to stay at a religious place called Akal Takht. So there was a place called Akal Takht. This is a religious place where Bhindranwale went to stay. Bhindranwale's follower captured the Golden Temple, and moreover the Bhindranwale's follower captured the Golden Temple and they built a barricade of sandbags over there. We had seen the barricades. Barricades means is a kind of boundary, or you can say a divider. Many times when we go to the roadways, there we see the checking of the polices. So what do they put some kind of barricade to stop the vehicles, to check them. So in this way, what they had did, the followers of Bhindranwale, they captured the Golden Temple and they built a barricade around the golden temple, so that the common people or polices or any authorities won't able to come inside the golden temple, and they creating the arms revolution from the golden temple. So when the government came to know about such activities, they had action against them. The area looked like a fort, right? They had captured the golden temple and built a barricade, so it looks like the golden temple became a fort. This greatly disturbed the peace in Punjab, and because of it, the situation of Punjab was very much disturbed. Violence everywhere. It was a major challenge to Indian democracy, and it was a big challenge for the Indian democracy, right? So, to stop such movement, government action against such kind of activities, and a Operation Blue Star has been formed. What is the operation? We had seen military, when a military goes on activity or any mission, they name that mission. So it was the Operation Blue Star. What was the Operation Blue Star? The main task of getting the terrorist out of the Golden Temple was entrusted to Major General Kuldeep Singh Brar. So the main task or the main responsibility entrusted mean the handled or given this responsibility to remove the terrorists from the Golden Temple or to destroy their movement was responsibility given to the Major General Kuldeep Singh. On the morning of 3rd June 1984, the mission Operation Blue Star was started. The operation ended on 6th June. So almost 3 days, after 3 days, this operation get ended and all the terrorists were removed or killed from the Golden Temple, and Bhindranwale was also killed in this mission. The operation ended on 6th June. In this military operation, the Indian Army functioned with great restraint. What did restraint means? With a great power or great, you can say, strategy. The operation ended with the death of Bhindranwale and other terrorists. In 1986, an operation had to conduct against terrorists in the Golden Temple once more. So, but since this mission was successful, but there are few activities still happening in Golden Temple, then again a operation called Black Thunder has been started in 1986 to completely wipe out such kind of movement. In 1986, an operation had to be conducted against terrorists in the Golden Temple once more. It was called Operation Black Thunder. After this action was taken, the process of establishment of peace in Punjab picked up moment. And once this happened, the situation gets normal in Punjab, and Punjab picked up the development process. Momentum means speed up. Momentum means speed. So आज हम देखते हैं पंजाब एक हमारे इंडिया का डेवलप्ड स्टेट है. Because these things were there, these were destroyed, and now people are very much eager, or they are very much supportive to government for the planning or for the development. So such kind of things happened in the past in Punjab. Okay, it was information about this military operation. A military expedition taken up with a particular objective is called an operation. Okay, any military expedition taken up with a particular objective, particular aim is called an operation. Operation Blue Star was an operation undertaken to evict. Evict means remove the terrorists hiding in the Golden Temple. Okay, chalo. Next, issues concerning Northeast India. Northeast India consists of 8 states. They are Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura. International borders of India touch each of these states to varying extent. Varying matlab different. Extent means region or the level. So these states share their borders with different countries. Few states share their border with China, few with Nepal, Myanmar, right? So since these states share an international border, so there are some kind of issues like we seen in Kashmir or sometimes in Punjab or Rajasthan, since they share the border with Pakistan. जब हम इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर की बात करते हैं बहुत से प्रॉब्लम होते हैं. वी ऑलवेज सी देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम बिटवीन इंडिया एंड चाइना टू बॉर्डर डिस्प्यूट्स इन द रीजन ऑफ अरुणाचल प्रदेश. राइट। तो ये सब इश्यूज होते हैं, कोई भी अगर टेरिटरी बॉर्डर एरिया पे होती है तो नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया तो हमारा बहुत ही क्रिटिकल है। और शुरू से नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया जो है वो हमारे कंट्री से काफ़ी हटके रहा हुआ है। बट कोशिश ये थी हमारे गवर्नमेंट की नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया को भी हमारे कंट्री का इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट में इंक्लूड किया जाए, और ऐसा हुआ भी है। International borders of India touch each of the states to varying extents. These states are different with respective ethnicity, language, and cultural diversity. What is ethnicity? Ethnicity means our traditions, culture, ethics. Ethnics means our the basic form. Like see, if you see the Maharashtra or the Gujarat or the Madhya Pradesh, they have few kind of similarities, but this northeast India belongs to a different region or the different kind of traditions or different kinds of culture they have. These states are different with respect to ethnicity, language, and cultural diversity. The first prime minister of independent India took the lead in bringing the tribes living in this area into the mainstream of India. Our prime minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru always tried to bring these regions into the mainstream, that it all should come under the one roof, and the people from the northeast India also consider themselves the important part of our country. So in this way a movement has started so that the people or the development should be done in northeast India. In 1954, our first prime minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. In 1954, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru formed the North-East Frontier Agency. In short, NEFA. What is NEFA? North-East Frontier Agency. Area compromising of the territories on the Sino-Indian border. When we say Sino, it means China. In traditional language, China is called as a Sino, or you can say Sino. Sino. In 1954, he formed the North-East Frontier Agency NEFA, area comprising of the territories of the Sino-Indian border and the tribal areas toward the north of Assam. Nehru took up the position of bringing about the development of hundreds of tribes in this part while preserving their culture. What is preserving their culture? Preserve means to kept safe, right? हम लोगों को वहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट लाना है, उनकी कल्चर को हमें डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं करना है। सिर्फ नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं हम, दुनिया में या अपने कंट्री में कहीं भी कोई भी अगर हम डेवलपमेंट का काम कर भी रहे हैं तो हमारी कोशिश होनी चाहिए कि जो भी एग्जिस्टिंग कल्चर है, डाइवर्सिटी है, एनवायरनमेंट है, उसे हमें प्रिजर्व करना है। प्रिजर्व मीन्स टू कीप इट सेफ। स्पेशल प्रोविजंस, व्हाट आर प्रोविजंस? प्लानिंग। अभी ये सब कुछ चेंज लाना है तो वहाँ पे प्लानिंग करनी होगी। Special provisions have been made with respect to these areas in the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. We know our Constitution was developed in 1950, and since we are following our Constitution, but at timely manner there are few changes in Constitution. So जब 6th schedule था कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को रीऑर्गेनाइज करने का, उसमें नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया को लेके बहुत सारे इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजंस लिए गए या बहुत सारे चेंजेस लाए गए। In 1965, the responsibility of administrating this area was given to the Ministry of External Affairs. The North-Eastern Council Act of 1971 was supposed to advise the central government regarding aspects of common interest in economy and social spheres, interstate transport, electricity, flood control, etc. So while making the planning, these things should be kept in mind कि भाई वहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई होनी चाहिए, प्रॉपर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन होना चाहिए ताकि लोगों में कनेक्शन बढ़ सके, टेलीकम्युनिकेशन सर्विसेज होने चाहिए, और बेसिकली दिस रीजन्स आर वेरी मच हैवीली फ्लडेड, तो फ्लड कंट्रोल से ये सब की भी प्लानिंग होनी चाहिए। और इस तरह से आज आप देखते हो चाहे कोई भी स्टेट हो हमारी कंट्री का, कनेक्टिविटी कितनी बेहतर हो गई है। आज हमारी कंट्री में हर एक स्टेट में रेलवे सिस्टम्स हैं, इवन we have flight services to all the nation, all the states of the nation, all over the nation, right? So these things or this planning done in those period so that these facilities or the importance should get the people from the northeast India also. Okay, so let's discuss about the few states, what kind of changes happened there, or what are the important aspects that took place on these period. Mizoram, when we talk about the Mizoram, The tribes in Mizoram. What are tribes? The local people. Tribes means local people, local community. The tribes in northeast India have an ancient history. When India became independent, the government gave administrative autonomy to the districts of Mizo majority areas of the Lushai Hill. As we all know, during the time of independence, when the partition happened, after the partition, our government appointed a committee called as the State Reorganization of Committee. What the work they handled, they organized the state in different parts. At that time we don't have 27, 28 or 29 states, right? There were only few states, but as the times passes, many regions demanding for an independent state. Same happened with the Mizoram. Activity begins at Mizoram. The local people demanded for a self-control. Autonomy means self-control. Okay? The tribes in northeast India have an ancient history. When India became independent, the government gave administrative autonomy to the districts of Mizo majority areas of the Lushai Hill. इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद उस टेरिटरी को कंट्रोल करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने वहां पे कुछ डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स बनाए थे जिनको सेल्फ कंट्रोल का पावर दिया हुआ था. दैट इंक्लूड्स द मिजो मेजोरिटीज एरिया. मिजो मेजोरिटीज लोकल ट्राइब्स areas of the Lushai Hill. When the States Reorganization Commission was appointed in 1954, when this State Reorganization Committee was appointed in 1954, the expectation of the people in this area grew. तो लोगों के expectation बढ़ गए. लोगों को लगा कि हम डिमांड करेंगे तो हमें भी एक अलग से इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेट मिलेगा. Mizo leaders, that the leaders from that territory, Mizo leaders, started demanding the autonomous Mizo province. Province means territory. Autonomous means self-control, or you can say self-independent. In 1959, the territory of Mizoram experienced severe drought. And during that movement, in 1959, the territory of Mizoram faced a severe drought. We know what drought. Drought means famine. Drought situation when there is a no crops, or you can say scarcity of food due to the irregular rainfall. ढंग से बारिश नहीं हुई, अच्छी फसल नहीं हुई, जैसे लोगों को खाने के लिए कुछ खाना भी नहीं मिला. So people are in very troubled situation. The situation of people became the miserable, and at that time a leader or a social worker called Lal Denga supported them, and he became the hero among the Mizo territory. During this famine, Mizo leader Lal Denga served the common people a lot. Serve means help common people a lot. So people had supported him, and he got the support of people, and with the support he started to demand for an independent Mizoram. In 1961, Lal Denga established an organization called Mizo National Front, and Lal Denga started a political party or an organization called Mizo National Front. In short, MNF, Mizo National Front. Underline this, NEFA, MNF. This will be helpful for us. He asked for Greater Mizoram, an independent nation carved out of. So he asked for a independent state named Greater Mizoram, which is carved out. Carved out means they have a different boundaries from Tripura, Manipur and Mizo majority areas from the Lushai Hill. In March 1966, Mizo National Front announced the emergence of independent Mizoram. So in the year 1966, MNF, Mizo National Front, announced the emergence of independence. So they have declared that we want independence, or we want an independent state, right? Prime Minister Indira Gandhi handled the situation firmly. Firmly means strongly. So at that time Indira Gandhi was our Prime Minister. She handled the situation very strongly and suppressed this movement. जो इन लोगों का रिबेलियस मूवमेंट था, जो लोग गवर्नमेंट के अगेंस्ट डिमांड कर रहे थे, उसे इंदिरा गांधी जी ने सप्रेस कर दिया. सप्रेस मीन्स टू स्टॉप इट and suppress the rebellion. When the situation calmed down in 1972, when the situation got calmed down or situation get normal in 1972, the Mizo majority area was given the status of a union territory. So to handle the situation, Mizo territory area was declared as a union territory. We all know union territory means it was run by the central government. Then in 1985, when Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister, in 1985 Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi had an agreement with the Mizo National Front. Agreement, we know, it's a kind of a deal. It's a friendship treaty that done with the MNF, with the leaders of MNF. And Mizoram given the states of a full-fledged state. Full-fledged state means it is declared as a complete or as an independent state. Lal Denga became the chief minister of the state. And as we all know, Lal Denga was the leader of Mizo National Front. So he was declared as the chief minister of Mizoram. So in this way, Mizoram got a complete status of a state. Next is Nagaland. There were so many issues happening in Nagaland also. The Naga tribe. What are Naga tribe? The local people or the local tribes of Nagaland. The Naga tribe in northeast India is known as a martial tribe. The Naga tribe had settled in eastern Himalayas, the Naga hills, border areas of Assam and Myanmar. So these are the parts where this Naga territories has been settled in from the past. Which are the territories? The Naga tribe has settled in eastern Himalayas, the Naga hills, border areas of Assam and Myanmar. In 1946, some educated Naga youth established an organization called Naga National Council, NNC. Underline this also. So in 1946, some Naga educated youth, we know educated, पढ़े लिखे, इन्होंने एक अपनी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनाई जिसका नाम क्या था? नागा नेशनल काउंसिल. Later they made a demand for an independent state of Nagaland, and later they asked for a separate Nagaland. They were led by Angami Zapu Fuzo. Who was Angami Zapu Fuzo? Angami Zapu Fuzo was the leader of Naga National Council, NNC. In 1954, the Naga National Council announced the establishment of an independent federation of Nagaland. So in 1954, the local tribe or the members of NNC declared Naga as an independent state. Nagaland is an independent state. In 1955, skirmishes developed or happened. What are skirmishes? Fights or differences between the Naga National Council or the people of Naga, between the local Nagas and the soldier of Assam Rifles. We know military people have their different names. जो मिलिट्री के कैंप के लोग होते हैं उनका अलग अलग उनका नाम होता है. जैसे कि अभी वहाँ पे उस टाइम पे नागालैंड में या जो नागा हिल्स की टेरिटरी है वहाँ पे जो कैंप होगा उनका नाम क्या था? आसाम राइफल्स. तो उन ग्रुप के साथ में ये एनएनसी और जो नागा लोकल नागास लोग थे उनके थोड़े स्किमिशेस प्रॉब्लम शुरू हुए. मिलिट्री एक्शन वाज टेकन टू सप्रेस द स्किमिशेस. तो फिर इस इश्यूज को रोकने के लिए मिलिट्री हेल्प लिया गया और मिलिट्री की मदद से ये सब प्रॉब्लम्स को रोका गया. सेवरल राउंड्स ऑफ डिस्कशन took place between the central government and the Naga National Council. Several rounds of discussion. Discussions means meeting. Several means many. So many meetings held to discuss about the situation of Nagaland that should be talked or discussed between the government. That happened. Central government decided to give the Naga majority territory the status of unitary. बाद में गवर्नमेंट ने डिसाइड किया कि ठीक है सिचुएशन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए नागालैंड को एक अलग से यूनियन टेरिटरी का स्टेटस देते हैं. जैसे हमने देखा असम में, असम को भी सिचुएशन कंट्रोल करने के लिए उसको एक पहले यूनियन टेरिटरी बनाया गया और बाद में आगे जाके क्योंकि उसको एक फुल फ्लेज स्टेट डिक्लेयर किया गया. वैसे ही कुछ नागालैंड के साथ में भी हुआ. Nagaland was made a full-fledged state on 1st of December 1963 by putting together the Naga majority territory and part of Twinsung. So some part of Twinsung and the majority parts of the Nagaland, and they became a complete state. Next is Assam. There is some kind of movement that happened in Assam also. In 1983, there was an intense agitation. Intense means a deep movement, right? A fierce movement. Agitation means a kind of angerness, dissatisfaction. Staged by all Assam Students Union and Assam Gana Sangram Parishad. So these are the few organization. One was the students organization, another was the political kind of organization. They started some kind of agitation against the government in the year 1983. In 1983, there was an intense agitation staged by all Assam Students Union and Assam Gan Sangram Parishad over the question of the dominance in Assam of Bengali migrant. So it has been seen that most of the Bengali migrants, the people of from Bengal, they moved to Assam, and due to that, Assam, the local people of Assam not getting proper job or proper facility. But later it was discovered that these people are not the Bengals, they people belongs to the Bangladesh, who entered illegally in the territories of Assam. In 1985, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, Central Home Minister Shankar Rao Chauhan and Assamese leader Prafulla Kumar Mohanto signed an accord. Accord means agreement. They signed an agreement, and in this agreement they decided and they had discussed that this Bengali or the Bangladeshi migrant should be sent to their territory or their country. It was decided to send the Bangladeshi citizens who had infiltrated in Assam back to their original places. What were infiltrated? Infiltrated means entered illegally. Right? In our country, we can go anywhere. Right? Within our country, we can move anywhere. But if we want to go in any other country, that we need to a proper document. We need a passport, visa. Right? But these Bangladeshi migrants, they entered in a wrong way. It is called the infiltrated. In 1985, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, Central Home Minister Shankar Rao Chauhan and Assamese leader Prafulla Kumar Mohanto signed an agreement. It was decided to send the Bangladeshi citizens who had infiltrated in Assam back to their original places. In 1986, elections were held for Assam Legislative Assembly and Prafulla Kumar Mohanto of the Assam Gan Parishad became the new Chief Minister. Because Prafulla Kumar Mohanto played a very important role in this movement, and his political party Assam Gan Sangram Parishad. So Prafulla Kumar Mohanto was declared or made as the Chief Minister of Assam. Due to this, in the year 1986, due to this democratic process, it became possible to establish peace in Assam. So in this way, there was a peace developed in Assam. Next is Arunachal Pradesh. You remember NEFA? In 1954, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru started this NEFA. In 1954, NEFA was created. What is NEFA? Remember? Northeast Frontier Agency. NEFA. So in 1954, NEFA was created. In 1972, it began to called Arunachal Pradesh. Then in 1972, it is called as, that territory is called as Arunachal Pradesh. We know Arunachal Pradesh, region of the rising sun. Arunachal Pradesh is called as the region of rising sun. हमारे कंट्री में ऐसा माना जाता है कि सबसे पहले जो सूरज की रोशनी कहाँ से आती है, कहाँ पे आती है? अरुणाचल प्रदेश में. And which country is called as the country of rising sun? Any idea? Which country is called as the country of rising sun? Japan. Right? Japan is called as the country of rising sun. On 20th February 1987, it got the status of constituent state. So on 20th February, finally, Arunachal Pradesh also got the status of a constituent state. During the period from 1960 to 2000, Northeast India had progressed towards a more mature democracy. Mature means responsible, proper. So we had seen Northeast India also participated in an important aspect of our Indian political democracy. This area on the path of progress through industrialization, spread of education, etc. And these all happened during this period in the development in the industries, development in the education, transport, health services. So many things has been changed and brought a development in the Northeast Indian states. So in this way, we had seen the separatist movement and the challenges that faced by the Northeast India. Okay, and we left with the topic called Naxalism, regionalism and communalism. Okay.